It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck, along with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson here at Milberger's, sitting on the porch talking to folks that are gardening. The sun, whoopsie daisy, the sun has come out. Yeah, that didn't work out too well, did it? The sun has come out, and there's a nice cool breeze from the north. We'll talk about that. But right now, one of the folks that were here, or that is here, is the organization, the Lions, and they are doing vision sightings, and Sandesh has been volunteered to come on and talk to us. Grab the mic.
Sam has done his usual job.
Yes, Sam has
Sam the Lions
twisted
man.
twisted, yeah, anyway. But Sandesh, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. And introduce yourself and kind of your involvement with the Lions in these vision screenings, and tell us what you're doing here.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Sandesh Puri. I'm a first-year medical student, and I work with the Lions Club with the mobile eye screening unit to provide free vision screenings to basically anybody in the local community. And I've been doing this for about 6 months now. So I'm still fairly new, but I've kind of overtaken some of the organizational roles for, recruiting some volunteers to help us with our mission.
So who needs to come out? You're doing the free screenings, and Sam and everybody made it very clear, although there was a focus on kids, it's for kids or adults.
Yes, that is correct. So it's for kids and adults. We have basically different screenings for each type. So kids under 12, we have a specific camera that we use to screen their eyes. And then adults have a little bit more that they can do for the screenings as well.
Okay, tell me what that means. There's a little more they can do.
Yeah, for sure. So adults, we have a visual acuity testing. So, when you go to an optometrist, you remember reading the letters on the wall. It's basically a machine that tests your visual acuity. We also have an eye pressure screening, and this is actually very important because this is not regularly tested on many people, and we can often catch something early on, which can often go unnoticed. So I think that's very important.
No, and this is an opportunity if cost or insurance or something has kept you from getting a screening. They're going to be here till 3.
That is correct. We'll be here till 3, and yes, it's completely free, and it's an amazing opportunity to just get your...
Are you not hearing him?
Yeah, no, he went out.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think the same thing that happens to Trace and I.
Okay. They could bring the kids, too.
Jiggle it a little.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so let's talk a little bit. I overheard, too, that you're involved. We were talking about people bringing in glasses and that they've got in a drawer. But did someone tell me that you go on the mission trips, too, or no?
I personally do not go on the mission trips, but I know some people.
That's what Sam said.
Okay.
Yeah, Lions Club is it's a massive organization, and us as medical students are only part of one section, the mobile eye screening unit, so we don't go on missions ourselves. But it's definitely an amazing endeavor, and I wish them the best.
Have you heard any of the stories about the lives they've changed just through a pair of glasses?
Yes, it's actually amazing, and I've experienced some life-changing events myself as well. Right? We often go to HEBs to do vision screenings.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So many people in the community have told me, hey, if this bus was not here, I would have never gotten my eyes checked. And
That's so cool.
Many of them, they've never had their eyes checked in their entire lives. So this is something that means a lot to the community.
Well, when you think of the young people and their success or lack of success in school, if you get your eyes tested and you correct your vision, what a difference that must make.
No.
Tremendous difference.
That's so cool. Well, listen, so you're here today till 3. About how long does everything take? So if I'm going, because I know there's people listening and they're finding excuses. They're going to be gone, or it's going to take too long, or this is so important, whether it's for your kids or whether it's for you. About how long does everything take?
Well, let me tell you, the paperwork will take 30 seconds. And everything else, if you do all of the testing, maximum maybe 5 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
I had to break in. There's a monarch.
Oh, wow, Calvin. Okay. Calvin has specialized vision that allows him to see monarchs wherever they are.
I taught a class this morning.
Yeah, on monarchs.
And Braunfels.
Cool. But that's very cool. What else do we need to know? If I cannot make it here today, and I do encourage them to come today, come to Milberger's, and then you're just back there, right?
Yes, we are back
in the back parking lot.
In the customer parking lot area.
Is there a list of online of where, like you mentioned, the HEBs, where they can find out where you'll be next week or the week after?
Yeah, so Chris, our main guy, he has a website. If you search up Lions Club and mobile eye screening.
Sam told us he was the main guy.
Yeah. He is the main guy, but Chris is our main guy. But there's a calendar on the mobile eye screening unit website that has a bunch of events listed. Some of the locations are still to be determined, but most of the events are listed there, and we try our best to make it known to the community.
Good. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, how many folks so far? Because you started a couple hours ago. Have you had some good attendance?
We've had a couple of people. We also have the blood donation bus there.
South Texas Blood and Tissue Center Series. Yep.
We got people donating blood, and right after they're getting their vision
screening.
Very
cool.
So we're trying to steal some of their customers.
Yeah.
It's all in good and fun.
Sandesh, thank you so much for coming up, man.
No problem.
Any last words?
What I'll say is, maintain good health. It'll go a long way, and if that means getting a vision screening within 5 minutes, that would be great for us and great for you as well.
Yeah, Trace did it a couple years ago too.
Really?
Yeah, and I think y'all found out that he had some issues with his current prescription, and it was like, okay, here's something else for you. So he was really grateful.
I'm glad that worked out well.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, 210-308-8867. As he mentioned, too, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center is here today, and they are doing donations. Blood supplies in San Antonio are always in demand, so we want you to come and go ahead and just donate blood. Just come on out. No need to register. Just come on out today till 3. They'll be here. They'll get you right in. All right, 210-308-8867, the number to call. All right, what else is going on, gentlemen? Oh, and I will tell people at 1 o'clock, we've been talking about Greg's Mist Flower, and it's been tough to get for Trace. If we talk about Trace enough, he shows up, which is kind of fun. I want to see what's going on.
Well, maybe we shouldn't say his name then.
Oh, I think if we repeat it 3 times, he just shows up.
Oh.
So Trace that's 2. The Greg's Mist Flower, tons of them in front of us, but we're going to talk to Dr. Mike Arnold.
Yeah, okay.
It's one of the all-star nectar plants, and it's in full bloom here at Milberger's. Very attractive, and it's the monarchs have arrived. They were in New Braunfels, and then we just saw one here at Milberger's. So if you want to meet their needs, now you need to have some nectar plants that are in bloom, including these guys, Mist Flower, and of course there's zinnias here, and there used to be porterweed. It's been sold and should be back though soon. Lots of lantanas,
lots of salvia, lots of lantana.
Is the Greg? Is the Greg in Greg's Mist Flower the Greg?
Our Greg?
We know? Yeah.
Our Greg?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Well, it's got the 2 G's, so I imagine it's somebody's last name.
Yeah, but it's the native that blooms longest. There's another native to the
south. There's one.
It's a little later. But this one is much more versatile.
Speaking of monarchs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lovely segue for Calvin to tell us what happened at his event.
Yeah,
today.
huge turnout. This is so exciting.
Yeah, we did.
And give kudos where they're due. You had a lot of help from a group of people, didn't you?
I somehow, with all the rain and the thunderstorms and everything, I suspected that we wouldn't have a huge attendance, but I certainly was wrong. We had 51 individuals show up. Luckily, I put in some extra plants to carry along, and we distributed every single one of the milkweeds that we brought. And I want to thank the Comal County Master Gardeners. They feel I relieved our volunteer team because I said, well, we'll have this is a good time to have a break, and we should, with the weather the way it is, we probably won't have a huge attendance. Well, of course, I was absolutely wrong on that. I should have known better. The history with New Braunfels is that they really participate in the Master Gardeners.
How many did you have?
51 people. That's a full house.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's terrific.
They were standing, yeah.
Standing room only? Goodness, Calvin. Well, this was part of a bigger event that I imagine is still going on right now.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Wait, do you remember the name of the event?
The AgriFest.
Yeah, AgriFest, yeah. I was going to say, I had an appointment with a woman halfway between San Antonio and New Braunfels, and we were talking, and I was looking at her trees, and then she said, oh, yeah, she's a Comal Master Gardenist, and she remembered me when I used to give the tree talks about arboriculture and the 5 Ps.
The 5 Ps?
Yeah. Planting, providing, pruning, and pests.
Okay.
Well, we needed, the Master Gardeners, too, had one of their emphasis in this event was youth opportunities. So they had all these activities for young people, mostly like high school age, little younger, and they were very successful. There were a lot of young people there. Not so many. We had a few in our class, but the Monarch class was mostly senior gardeners.
Yeah.
Or gardeners that were in the 50s. But they were interested. The questions were great.
Good.
And a lot of neat observation. A lot of them also had experience with the antelope horn and zizzotes, milkweeds.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to get their opinions and experiences. And it was very useful.
Do you want to give out any more news on the upcoming seminars?
Oh yeah, we've decided to cancel the seminar on the 19th.
Okay.
That was an Easter weekend, and we conferred with the team there at the SAC lab, and decided that we would not do it this spring, but we will. I'll call everybody that is registered.
Okay.
To remind them, we do still have the class scheduled for Wilson County on May 8th at 6 p.m. And that will be down there in Floresville. And I don't think... Do you have it marked?
I probably do.
When is that?
That is
May 6th.
Okay.
Is it the 6th or the 8th?
Well, it says 6 here in the newspaper, but, we can never
be sure. I think it's right, the 6th.
At 1103 4th
Did you have a question for us? Can you ask it on the air with us? You'll do great. Promise you. Sure, I'm going to give you the mic, or I'm just going to put it here, and I'll bring it up. What's your question? You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good
This is
afternoon.
my question.
Yes, ma'am.
This plant, which I just saw over there, I didn't recognize the name, but it does say full sun.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to put it in the back behind bougainvillea, so I think it'll be a nice contrast. My question is, if it says full sun, is it doable for just morning sun? And I get
Guys?
Mornington from the east side to the
Okay,
middle of the day.
what that is, that's an improved variety of
Sometimes
Mexican black ant. It's called Gaillardia. It's just, I can see that on the backside.
Okay, now don't go too far so we can still hear you. There
So
we go.
it says Gaillardia, shouldn't it? Or firewheel?
it does.
Okay. So it's just an improved variety of a native wildflower.
Okay, thank you.
So, yes, it really, 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 really should be in full sun.
Okay, thank you so much.
But yeah, it will just have less flowers.
Now I want flowers.
That's not
Thank
okay.
you for
Cool.
those bougainvilleas that I picked. So I
Yeah,
got
they
some
are pretty.
contrast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's what we talked about bougainvilleas the other day. There's two different kinds.
Oh yeah.
Essentially the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are really nice. Those are the hot
Those
pink
lovely?
ones.
Yes.
Yeah, those are,
Okay.
to me, that is bougainvillea, the hot pink.
Yeah.
Yes. It's what my boyfriend likes, so.
Oh, there you go.
My special guy, so I want to
Aw,
get those.
that's
Okay,
getting-
thank you for your time.
thanks.
Does he
so
have
much.
like a bougainvillea name, like Bobby?
Bobby
or
Bougainvillea?
Bobby's Bougainvilleas or Buddy's
Well, his
Bougainvillea?
name is Michael, so I
No,
don't
it doesn't
know.
quite
Yeah,
work.
it doesn't work very well.
We tried.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you for
You
your
take care.
time. Goodbye.
All right, 210-308-8867. Michael, if you're listening, I think you got some plants coming. All right, 210-308-8867, the number to call to be a part of the show. Uh-oh, another question? Okay. Oh, you heard your voice? Yeah. A little bit of a delay. Yep. All right. 210-308-8867. And, is everything okay? What?
Well, it's a cat on a leash.
Oh, a cat on a leash?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Huh. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back in a moment.
Seems really well behaved.
Yeah, for a cat on a leash.
Yeah.
210-308-8867. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff, including brewskis and maybe some rain. And maybe Trace will join us right after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Hey, and welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Hey, 210-308-8867, the number to call. But let me give you another website to go to, or just a place to go to. Hop in the car on this beautiful South Texas afternoon and head on out there to Highway 87 in Atkins, Texas, and pick up some great meats, sausage, beef, poultry, and that's all at Prusky's Market. And boy, oh boy, will you be treating. If you've got guests that are coming over to watch the games, if you've got you're looking for stuff for Easter, if you're just looking for great food to feed your family, Prusky's will help you out. And what I like most about Prusky's, besides the great food, is the outstanding service. I like the fact, because I grew up where you would walk to the butcher counter and you would talk to somebody that you saw every single time, and you could ask them what you should get. Or hey, look, there's only two of us. Can we get a little smaller portion? They would take care of you. That's the experience you'll get at Prusky's right there on Highway 87. Maybe you're looking for something different. If they don't have it, which would surprise me, I bet they can tell you where you can get it. That's Prusky's Market. You'll love it. We're going to talk to Edmund tomorrow about Easter.
Good. I have a question.
Okay. Well,
I'll think of one.
okay, if you think of one, we'll talk to him about the same time tomorrow. But that's Prusky's Market, 10140 Highway 87. You won't be disappointed. The website is pruskysmeatmarket.com. pruskysmeatmarket.com.
I thought of mine. I'm wondering if I give him the last pepper that I have left that I haven't eaten,
Uh-huh.
if he could make sausage with it.
Just that one little pepper?
Well, that's enough for the average person.
Oh, I don't know. You'll have to ask him.
I will.
Okay. What kind of sauce? Pepper is it?
The one that
that he brought.
pepper.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that one.
Okay. Yeah. I bet you. Maybe. What was his? What was his?
Nick.
Yeah, it was Nick. But we gave him a name, didn't we? Was it Pepper Nick? I
Yeah.
think it was Pepper Nick. Yeah. So let's see what happens. Maybe Pepper Nick will be the prompter of. Well, those were the really, really hot ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found those a home in your belly.
Yep.
I had some and you had some, so they're good. I do need to get a grinder, but
I can make you one if you want.
Nah, that's okay. I just need to run out of salt, and then I can use the grinder.
It's
I have.
apparently my next day off. My wife wants a salt and pepper grinder.
Oh, does she really?
So
you're gonna make like a wooden one?
Yeah, I'll buy the
Very
kit,
cool.
I'll buy the kit and make the wood one.
Okay, that'll be nice.
Yeah, I was like, you turned down a nice wooden one?
No.
In my mind.
That's
And
okay.
then
I don't wanna put-
realized you weren't.
I don't want to put Trace through the trouble.
I can't even make him a name tag. So
No, no, don't focus on that. Okay, so Trace, what's going on? You've got some good news.
yes, the big order of houseplants came in, and
Yeah.
we got it all out. It's beautiful. And so if you're looking for that perfect indoor plant, the odds are we've got it.
Yep. So lots of great selection of outdoor plants. And how about what do you got in the way of tomatoes that's new?
Well,
You got something people have been looking for.
We got a lot of cherries,
Good.
including Ruby Crush.
Ruby Crush is here. Come, hurry, hurry, hurry.
So I didn't tell my wife, but I brought 3 home, and I pretended I left them here for a while. So I got 3 right off the truck.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. That's funny.
And there's celebrities there.
Yeah.
There's even a few heritage.
I saw
think
some
that's gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yellow
Cherokee
yellow pear. I
Cherokee.
think I
No,
saw
Yeah, a yellow one. A yellow one and something named Tom.
Tumbling Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as well as the micro Tom, so we've been talking about.
Yeah, we got a lot of Toms.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of nice tomatoes out there right now. Super Sweet 100, one of my favorites.
Did you get some?
And
Yes,
I
I
would like to remind everybody
Yes.
that I probably won't bring any more small tomatoes in. If I can find some already growing in larger containers, I will do that. But carrying little ones past this week is not good business
that
practice.
probably
Is it
means
not
that
good
we
for
won't
the
get
consumer
access
either?
to
Right.
Yeah.
It's not good business practice.
Thunderbirds and Ramblers and things but that is what we talked about on this time of the year. And get when you see those tomatoes, your favorite varieties, make sure you get them because it's a short.
Yep, the availability
season.
changes every week, and it will get slimmer and slimmer as we get warmer and warmer.
And you loved your Ruby Crush.
Oh yeah, I
And
got
you-
my
and you
Ruby
were-
Crush. Yeah.
And your dogs loved your Ruby Crush,
Yes,
Trace.
they did.
That's a good dog tomato. But yeah, we've got them. And what else do we have? What else?
So they were actually smelling the plants.
Oh, were they
They
really?
were.
Oh, that's funny. There's like, this smells familiar. Okay, Papa, why don't you put these in the ground, Dad? All right. What
And
else?
We're waiting for, with bated breath, we're waiting for the Whoppers. I got my
Very cool.
containers ready for action
Okay.
as soon as they come in.
Don't tell Trace, but yeah, the Whoppers that I overwintered I've now replanted them again, and they're happy as can be.
Yeah, well, I have
Don't tell Trace.
about 25 that I planted in big containers.
Oh wow.
And I got about 9 of them that have come back after the freeze.
Good deal.
So I'll still.
That's the exception, not the rule.
Right. No, that's right. So you don't want me to talk about my poinsettias then?
No, I'm
Please
waiting
don't.
here for bated breath. I was going to say, but that's not the poinsettia.
If we get to Christmas next year and you still have a poinsettia and it colors up,
Yeah.
I will be impressed.
All right. I will work to impress you, Trace.
And I know Trace is working hard too to get us some more of the porterweed.
Mm-hmm.
That was a topic at the New Braunfels folks didn't know
were they?
anything.
Did they all ask you where you live so they could go dig
Yeah,
up the
no
ones that
kidding.
you bought?
Well, they didn't know anything.
Apparently,
There
like
was
the-
one out of the 51 people, there was one person that had grown porterweed. So
Apparently,
I
like
couldn't
the
believe it.
like the occasionally happens where someone tries to corner the silver market or the gold market.
See, I would have thought he'd have bought some extras so that he could have done door prizes or something.
That would have been a good idea, Calvin. Okay. Yeah, just you can't get them anymore. I've bought every single one in San Antonio.
Well,
I'm
I
going to give
would've-
away one as a door prize.
Well, I would have expected somebody to donate those for
I
door
knew that was
prices
coming.
like the old days.
Oh, okay. Well,
You didn't ask.
yeah, so you don't ask, you don't get. You know what I'm saying?
well, I have asked a few in the past.
Okay,
and
well, we won't. Let's not get too much into this. Hey, besides the Ruby Crush in the vegetable section, lots of small cherry tomatoes, What else do we have? Mark, you did some
we have
scouting?
lots of peppers. We have all kinds of peppers, from
They look
bells to
Jalapeno.
jalapenos. I was going
jalapeno.
to say serranos, but that's not right. The jalapenos.
I ordered serranos, but I don't recall seeing them.
Yeah,
wait a
not,
minute. Showed up.
not today. I didn't see them.
What is on the large peppers?
Yeah.
Which is your favorite, Mark?
Of the large, I would probably go with some kind of Anaheim / ancho type. So
Jalapeno grande.
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
So that's
It's not
the
a hot one, but it's a big.
it's a
jalapeno.
hot
Okay.
one. Although I love hot, I'm not as much as Trace. So
Oh no, yeah.
my Midwestern taste buds are not acclimatized to.
So,
But just let me finish off there.
Okay, please
We
finish.
have zucchini.
yay!
Zucchini came out, and we have different squashes out there.
Okay.
Several different squashes.
Handful of okra.
And a handful of okra. Calvin was asking me about it, and I said, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But we got a whole bunch of new herbs. You know, there's some parsley, and we have sage,
Oh, here we go.
and we have rosemary,
Well, I didn't go where
and
I was
we
going.
have several different types of thyme.
Oh,
The
okay.
black-
That's
the-
what
the
that's what I
black
thought he was heading.
swallowtail
That's
will
what
be
you-
here.
every week.
And he wasn't singing.
Never gets old. And did you see anything else that was fun out in the herbs? Herbs, people love herbs.
They do.
I was wanting to go. I wanted to make a joke about being French out there because we had some French lavender and some French
Oh,
thyme.
You know what I saw that was
Well, if we're
last
going to do
week?
that, I mean, we got bay leaf as well.
oh.
It's not kept with the herbs, but
A little Provence, a little
so
bay
we're gonna
leaf
go-
on that.
You know,
Italian cooking kind of thing.
Okay.
Trace, you know that I saw last week that we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but those spreading rosemary. Gosh, what a nice ground cover in full sun.
Mm-hmm.
Evergreen, and deer don't eat them. And of course, you got one rosemary is enough for the whole neighborhood, but they really make a nice.
Speaking
ground
of spreading, you can get some thyme by several little pots of thyme, and then mint as well. We have some mint out there
Oh yeah,
as
there
well.
are a lot of mint.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, the people love the mint.
So that could be
Spearmint,
used as a
chocolate mint.
ground
What kind of
cover,
mint do you
in
have?
other words.
Remember?
Yeah.
Peppermint. Do you remember what kind of mint we have? No. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just was pleased
saw
I
mint.
saw some mint out there.
Okay. And let's see, just making sure I cover everything. The flower that we were bragging on last week, which was was it Mystic or Misty?
Misty Spires.
Misty Spires.
The one of the fathers is Mystic Spires.
Okay, Misty
so
Spires.
This is Misty Salvia.
Misty Salvia, sorry. We got some back.
We did. We got another 150 in.
Oh, good, because that got gobbled up. I mean,
Wow, what
about
an
halfway through
attractive
Sunday's
plant,
show.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, I was going to say within 3 or 4 days, that was.
I always like trying new plants.
No, that one was a hit. It still is a hit.
Well, it's you want to be careful there, Milton. You want to. One of the reasons the gardeners are attracted to it is it's attractive, of course, but it also is a test. You know, every time you see it, they have a new plant. They want to try it and see how well it works out. And Trace is careful to remind everybody that it's we don't have 10 years of experience with this plant, but it's worthy of the test. And certainly the gardeners that picked it thought that.
And if you did pick it, how long before we've done a reasonable test? When should we ask them to call us?
At least one full season.
Okay, so end of summer?
I would say 3 years.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
I'm
wow,
doing
really?
2, and
Okay.
2-ish with a leaning towards what Trace has said, 3.
All right.
So
So,
to get all the vagaries.
That's
of
how long it
temperature.
takes to get a rodeo tomato.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and especially the way our weather's been.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you bought one, call us in 2 years?
3.
3. Okay, call us in 3 years and then tell us how it's going.
One more item that,
Yes, sir.
that I ventured out and was walking around when was the roses.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we have the hybrid teas in. and a large amount of hybrid teas. And then we still have some of our old-fashioned heritage.
Are there any more of those, the
Grandma's yellow?
They are blooming at my garden.
Oh, are they?
Wow, are they beautiful.
There was some hybrid teas that I was looking at, so that were yellow.
Yeah,
but,
that yellow is spectacular.
Yeah, but there's some Martha Gonzalez in full bloom. That's one of Calvin's favorite.
Yeah, and it's a real functional rose too. It blooms for a long time, but also is a traffic controller and that does well. Can put up with the drought and can put up with traffic and the heat.
Yeah. And then I also took notice of some of Trace's favorite metabolists.
Oh, good.
We still have lots of those.
I always order more of those, Milton, just so we can talk about them longer.
Yeah, good. That's fine. And I do like the Grandma's yellow. What are some of the more fragrant ones? I think Belinda's Dream. We've talked about that.
The two that I like is Dudley's Cross, Mrs. Dudley's Cross, and Old Blush.
I don't smell so good anymore, Milton,
I
so I'm
know,
not a
it's
good
a shame.
try. But we have a sign up out there by the hybrid roses that has a QR code on it.
Okay.
And then they pull that up. They'll learn, what class it's in, and then there's little asterisks next to the ones that have the best fragrance.
Oh, okay.
And there was a couple out there that were going through and smelling every one of which fragrance they liked best. It was great.
All right. Hey, Dustin has called us at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Dustin, how can we help you today? Welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. Oh, okay. Dustin, somehow we lost you. So call us right back. We'll get you right back on the air, okay? 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. And I'm going to ask for something, but the very first plant thing that Calvin that came out of his mouth today as he sat down was, do you remember? No.
It wasn't zinnias.
No, it had to do with the rains. You want me to just tell him what you said in case Calvin sat down and said, well, the bloom bonnets are coming up. Which they are. Yeah, I've seen them alongside of 281 on the way to...
Even that trail to New Braunfels on...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, 281. It was
did
just
you go
great.
to 281? So I saw them...
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of them there.
On 35. On parts of 35 on the way up to New Braunfels the other day.
Yeah, I saw them when we went up to 46, and they were just all along there, 281 and 46 area. I seen them at... Nakoma in 281.
No, I just was going to say, I've heard tell.
Where have you heard tell?
I've heard tell just along that area between 281 and all the way around 510.
What was the yellow ones that were with it? The blue bonnets were real obvious.
I meant to look up the yellow ones, and I forgot to do that in my book, Wildflowers of Texas. And I forgot to do it. But we talked about the evening primrose, but there were some yellow ones in amongst the evening primrose. And I'm sorry. If anybody knows, want to call in.
And I'm curious to see what this is. This is a tough flower. So I walked to the HEB, their little convenience store thing, and in the sidewalk, and I swear there must be soil the size of a pinhead. There is almost looks like a bluebonnet coming up. So I'll have to see. It had blooms on it. Buds, but no blooms. So I couldn't tell what color it was going to be.
Do you have the rain lilies? Did your rain lilies come up?
No, the rain lilies.
Oh, the rain lilies were looking spectacular.
Yeah,
we were doing a video for Go Gardening.
Oh, good.
And the videographer said, "Oh, what are these?" And I went, "Oh, those are rain lilies, but I've never seen them so big,
so
good.
White."
Well, there were not as many, but you're right. Those that were there were extra large, yeah. But they look good. It reminded me, I mentioned this in my article about, I just can't, what's blooming now, and I mentioned the rain lilies as number one. And then I had to remind everybody, I said, I just can't understand. We've had a few gardeners say,
Yeah, they don't.
"What is that weed in there that's messing up my lawn?" I can't believe that you would prefer lawn grass to those beautiful rainbows.
Now and I've got to cut the lawn. You got some rain this morning. I went walking at about 5 o'clock, and so I walk about 40 minutes, 2 miles, and about after mile 1, it went from blip, blip, blip to blip, blip. Okay, then I got rained on, but I finished my whole 40 minutes and 2.1 miles. I was not going to let it bother me.
Well, if you're lucky
I was
that it
soaking
wasn't
wet.
as heavy as...
Yeah, it was. You said New Braunfels was really heavy?
Yeah, well, the between Medical Center and New Braunfels
Okay.
was very heavy. And in fact, I had plants in the back of the pickup.
Yeah.
And it was heavy enough, and the winds were blowing enough that it actually moved containers and tumped over some.
Huh. Oh, yeah. I have containers that are on the ground. It was for the first mile of the walk, it was just the cold wind that was making it tough to do.
It's even cool today, aren't you? A little cold?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But
That's why I wore a long shirt.
yeah, I should have worn a little long sleeve shirt, but I'm okay. I got the shorts on too. I'll be okay. 210.
It appears to be a northeasterly wind, so
Yeah.
we're protected. In other words, we're protected.
Okay, so here's the dealio. Now, Dustin, we lost you. We wanted to help you. Dustin had a question. It was about best grass and fruit trees for, I guess, for rocky soil. But, Dustin, we want to know what your question is. You call us back right now as we take a break. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. If you're interested in learning more about the latest Texas superstar, Greg's Mist Flower, then be sure to be here at 1 o'clock as we talk to Dr. Mike Arnold, about the flower. And I want to know what he had to do with it, why they suggested he's the one we talked to. So, back in a moment on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Dustin, we miss you. You want to talk about his topic, and he's not calling back, so I don't know how we lost you, but we did. And, do you have any suggestions for someone who's got a rocky soil or in a rocky area? Let's talk about best grass number 1, assuming they've got lots of sun.
All right, so about a third of San Antonio.
Yes.
Or more. What's the best grass for a thin, shallow, rocky soil?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. It's not the rocky.
No grass.
Yeah, I know. I'm smiling over at Calvin because we discussed this over the years many times. Yes. You have to for nice quality turf, you have to have at least 6 inches of quality soil. So
and that's typical hill country.
Yeah.
So you'd want perennials, and you'd want some of those.
If I had to do turf, I would have to have full sun because I'm going to do Bermuda.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that goes dormant quickly and then goes out of dormancy quickly. And so on a thin soil, you may have to have it may go dormant multiple times during the year.
It's really tough to mow a soil that's loaded with rock.
Oh, really? Yeah. Why? Because the mower hits the
rocks.
Hits the rocks. Okay.
And the rock shift.
Well, let's go back to your other thing. So, if you are really if they don't want to have a hardscape or don't want to grow other things besides if they're set on soil. You're saying they should be set on getting 6 inches of soil.
At least 6 inches. This is what Calvin and I did determine a long time ago in regards to city ordinance. Okay. The SAWS portion of the city ordinance.
Well, in a typical hill country landscape, you might have shrimp plant, you might have Turk's cap, you got lots of plants that Asian jasmine works all right. Our Dorfuelia.
Because any of these perennials that are here in front of us would love that type of soil.
Oh, the Gara.
Does Greg's book have plans on what you can do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason we like Greg's book so well is he does it in small bites, small pieces. That you are not overwhelmed with redoing the entire landscape. He lays it out in very small sections.
Lantanas are one of the best for that situation. And then even our good old mistflower here does well. So we got lots of ball bean.
So if you want grass, if you want turf, get the most soil you could possibly get.
Yeah.
And I probably would go, depending on the amount of sunshine, I would probably go Bermuda.
Okay. And then what about fruit trees?
Fruit trees, well, my favorite fruit trees are, for this area, are citrus, pears, particularly European hybrids, and figs.
Okay. And
those are my three big ones.
Those are your three favorites for rocky soil?
For all of San Antonio, but especially in the rocky soil.
Okay.
There's some pears that have been in these German homesteads since the late 19th century.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. And they still produce fruit?
I can't tell you that, but that's what David has gone and found some of these.
Son of a gun. Yeah. Well, that's a variety that.
Again, they're not Bartlett. These are European hybrids. They're cooking pears.
Okay.
Kiefer is an old one. Warren not so much, but Orient, Ayers, Kiefer's number one, I think.
Calvin and we've sold Kiefer and Warren, haven't we, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
We sold.
Well, there's lots of different ones on that run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty tree, a long-lived tree.
Is it good? Okay.
It produces lots of pears.
Ooh.
Sometimes you got to be. And I often tell gardeners, the latest was at the San Antonio Men's Garden Club was, what are your expectations? Are you going to do these things, i.e. prune annually, heavy, remove 30% of your fruit, spray on a regular basis for pests and disease. And sometimes, a lot of times they don't want to do that.
Well, Kiefer, you don't always have to do that.
No, that's why I like it. Yeah. It's one of those ones where pears in particular, but Kiefer, or pears in general, and Kiefer in particular.
Figs you don't have to spray, but you should water them, but you don't have to spray them.
So that's why I like them low maintenance, and they are hardy in our weather extremes.
I have to sneak over, I shouldn't say this out loud, to my brother and sister-in-law's house to pick some of their figs so that we can make a jelly out of them. Do they sell figs at like H-E-B? Not the trees, but the figs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm going to say Central Market. I've seen them.
Central Market? Okay. Yeah. So if, they may suddenly see that, man, a big bird must have swooped in and taken a bunch of our figs or something.
And speaking of figs, there are three main ones for San Antonio area. Is Celeste, which we think is the sweetest, Alma, and then the Texas Everbearing or Brown Turkey. There is dispute if one and the same or two different ones.
Okay.
So I have parties on both sides that support that it's one and the same, and then other people say, no, they're two separate ones.
And I wanted to ask you a question before you jump to figs. What is the difference between a cooking pear and an eating pear? What's the counter to a cooking pear?
I'm just going to give you two. Do you know Basque or Anjou pears?
Yeah, I think I've seen them. These are eating pears?
No, those are the cooking pears.
Oh, how interesting.
Whereas Bartlett, you've seen a Bartlett pear, right?
Yes.
That's an eating pear.
Oh, okay. So our eating pears, because I think I made that mistake
Well, you don't want to plant Bartlett here, though.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no. I actually tried to make
you-
some juice out of one of the pears I saw at the market, and I'd done Bartlett before, and it was great. And I did this one, it was kind of like meh.
Yeah. So sometimes on these cooking pears, you may lose a tooth or so biting into it.
Okay. And are they as sweet as Bartlett?
They could be.
Okay.
But on the whole, they're going to be let's say harder and how does one say that? More pear tasting, but not as sweet.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. It was not as sweet. Oh, that's pretty too. What does she have? The yellow flower.
I'm going to say a day flower.
Is that a lily? Day lily? All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867.
Day lily.
Yeah.
Okay. And so your advice on the canna lily was planted deeper in that pot?
Oh, so Calvin.
Laura got a gift of a canna lily.
We often exchange emails, and so this a couple days ago, I was going through Facebook and I saw a really unique little graph on how deep you should plant various bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
And then an hour or so later, here comes Milton.
Yeah.
How deep should I plant this particular?
Because it was drooping.
Canna lily. And what struck me was that particular canna lilies were supposed to be like 6 inches deep.
Okay.
And what I thought at the time was the fact they wanted to be kind of moderate in temperatures.
Well, they'll survive in that kind of soggy soil, but they need a firm area, a large root area.
So Calvin's advice was, firm it up, firm the soil around it a little bit.
A bigger
container.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
And mine was this according to this chart, which I thought it was on Facebook. Remember,
yes,
everybody
I know.
on Facebook.
And I have another Facebook type question for you in a minute.
And I thought, I would do a bigger pot, like Calvin said, and then more soil, and to keep.
It actually, the plant would probably survive even in that little container if there wasn't so much. If it was firmer soil and there wasn't so much water in it.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're watering it like everything else. And, of course, it's gotten a lot of rain, too, because it's been outside. All right, we'll try it, because it looks pretty in that pot.
But they'll live. They grow. A lot of cannas grow right in the edge of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
If you're over there at the Riverwalk area.
Okay. Huh. Well, we'll plant it a little deeper and tell you what happens. We'll give you a report. Because Laura is fond of that. Like I said, it was a gift. And so you always think better of gifted plants than you do of stuff you buy sometimes. Yes. Okay, so we're going to get ready to take a break in just a minute. I don't want to ask my Facebook question. I'll ask it after we speak to Dr. Mike Arnold. Mike is a...
You don't want to ask it right now and let us mull it over?
No mulling. Oh. No. Y'all are experts. You'll know the answer right away.
All right.
But,
Your faith.
What's that?
Your faith supports me.
I'm glad. Let's see. I'm trying to get Mike's credentials. I'll have to bring him up on here while we're at the break. But, he is in charge of the gardens at Texas A&M. He's a professor. And we'll find out about Greg's mist flower. Greg's mist flower, right? Or
Greg's,
just Greg?
Yeah, or you want to say Greg's blue mist flower.
Okay.
Okay.
Both. Yeah, but it's been recently named a Texas Superstar as early as last year, and we'll talk to him a little bit about it. Maybe we can get some in-depth information about what else is being considered too. Would he squeal on them and tell you we're also considering this?
I would love that. I think he would.
And they're blooming. Are we going to get more rain, or was those blooms left over from the rain last week?
Stop that.
I don't know why you're such a doubter. All right, 210-308-8867 is our number, and we encourage you to call or come by. It's a pretty day here at Millburgers at 1604 on Boulevardy Road. It's a nice, cool breeze. If you haven't been outside yet, I'm going to suggest a long-sleeve shirt, maybe long pants. But I'm here in a short-sleeve shirts and shorts, and I'm doing okay.
Shivering up.
That's not shivering. I'm just, okay, it is. But, but there's no sun on the porch. If I was in the sun, I'm sure I'd be fine. But, so give us a call and tell us what's going on in your gardening world. And then I'll talk about my zinnia seeds in a little while. I don't know if they're coming up or not. I'll tell you what I did, and I'm not real happy about the way I did it after we talked to Dr. Arnold. The would they
danger all the time is planting seeds too deep.
Oh, I don't think I did that.
Okay.
But they wouldn't be coming up. I think I planted them last Saturday. Would they be coming up already? That seems too early. I'll tell you more about that after we talk to him. I think
a week on zinnias if the weather's right.
Okay. It's possible?
It's possible.
I think what happened is that I covered up a lot of things and I put soil down and covered up a lot of loose weeds and grasses and stuff. I think that's what's coming up. It's going, hey, the soil feels great. I'm coming up. So I'll tell you more about that. When we come back, we'll speak to Dr. Mike Arnold. We'll introduce you to Greg's Blue Mist Flower, or just Greg's Mist Flower. Back after this with more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Our phone number is 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And right now, we're going to we'll take your calls. You can get on the line and wait because we are going to throw it over to our special guest right now, Dr. Mike Arnold. He is a professor in the Department of Horticultural Sciences and the director of the gardens at Texas A&M University. And we were going to talk about Greg's Mist Flower, and we'll talk about other stuff too if Dr. Arnold wants to. So, Dr. Arnold, welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. Do you want to know what they did to us today? Are you there?
Uh-oh. Yes, sir.
Oh, cool. So here's what they did to us. I told Trace, who runs the nursery, that we were going to be talking to you about the Greg's Mist Flower. So what did he do? Right in front of us as we sit on the porch, we have tons of them. He put them where we cannot miss them as we talk about them, and even put one in front of us. So he made sure we knew that he had some. But they've been hard to get for him, I think. But I'm trying to figure out where to start. Do you want to start with I got interested when it was named a Texas Superstar. When was that?
Sure. Greg's Blue Mist was named a Texas Superstar last fall. And that the timing was the fact that that's when it comes into its peak bloom. We get bloom most of the growing season, but it really shines in the late summer to early fall. Great butterfly plant, and of course, being a native, it's well adapted to the I-35 corridor and Central Texas. So we thought it was a natural to fit in.
Yeah, Calvin, you had a question you were going to ask me?
I would just... I wanted you to emphasize the fact that we've identified it as one of the top nectar plants in our area for the monarchs and for all the other pollinators. And so I didn't want Dr. Arnold thinking we didn't appreciate it.
Migration.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we're seeing monarchs today. At the nursery.
So now, were you involved in making it a Texas Superstar?
Yes, sir. I'm one of the folks who's on the Texas Superstar committee, and that's actually a group of scientists and industry representatives. We're generally speaking representing Texas A&M AgriLife as well as our colleague at Texas Tech up there in Lubbock as well.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. So, all right. Well, let's do some bragging. You mentioned great pollinator, monarchs. Its timing is good. I'll mention that it's an absolutely beautiful plant. What are some other characteristics? In fact, what made it a Texas Superstar? Maybe that's a better way to ask.
Well, if you look at the Texas Superstars as a group, we're looking for plants that are going to perform well in the majority of the state.
Right.
That's a tall order for plants to have to come up with to perform well in a wide range of environments. And Greg's Blue Mist fits that bill. As long as it's got a well-drained soil and a reasonably sunny location, it's very easy to grow. It's not particular as to soil pH. It'll tolerate some salinity exposure. It will tolerate some drought. Loves the heat. Great plant for us, particularly in the summer and late fall.
Yeah, we need plants that can tolerate that drought here in San Antonio.
I love the way the flowers look. They almost remind you of the old-fashioned ageratums and that incredible shades of blue that are available. We're very fortunate to have things like bluebonnet and Texas mountain laurel, things that have the blues in them. A lot of areas of the country, there's very few flowers that are blue, and so this adds to that palette. And it contrasts really well with some of our other fall Texas superstars, the Mexican bush sage, which has purple to white flowers on it, and then also with the Mexican mint marigold, which is the latest Texas superstar, just named this month.
Oh, wow.
Many of our folks are probably familiar with that. Great combination of blue and yellow flowers, and they bloom about the same times of the year, so excellent plants.
Yes, sir. Mark, you have a question?
We have some. Well, Milton and I exchanged excited glances.
Yeah.
But we do have a few over there in the corner.
When was that announced to me? I missed that one.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned
it literally just came out last week, so you
okay.
you probably haven't had a chance to catch it yet.
Well, cool.
They say Paul Schattenberg hasn't been able to write a extension letter about it. So
we generally say, though, the Mexican mint marigold is one that blooms very late in the fall. Are you saying that that's not true?
No. What you're saying
that is correct. Mexican mint marigold will tend to bloom in that late summer to fall period. And actually, blue mist will start earlier, but it also will overlap into that fall period. So that they make nice combination in the flowers on that.
Mark was making the symbol for combination. He wanted me to say that. So, yes, we're overlapping. So you must have read his mind. We're talking to Dr. Mike Arnold about, Texas Superstars. Do you want to talk about the new one, too? Or, Calvin, did you have a question about Greg's Mist?
I was wondering, we talk about Mexican mint marigold, and the deer do not eat it.
Oh, that's good to know.
But what about the mist flower? Did the deer eat it?
No, is it deer resistant?
Yeah, I would not say it's immune to it. It's tough to find plants that are immune to deer grazing, but we have not noticed that as a major problem on it.
Good. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Calvin, you'll have to get one and test it in your deer deer yard.
We have some neighborhoods which are overrun.
Yeah.
Just a comment on the Mexican mint marigold.
Sure.
It does both double duty as an ornamental for the beautiful yellow flowers and lush green foliage, and it's perennial. Both of these species are. But it also has edible foliage on it, and so it's often grown initially as an herb, and people will use the leaves to season. Has a licorice.
Licorice.
It's a good substitute for anise. So, that's what it was originally used for.
That's interesting.
Nice in salads for kind of a little extra bite, and of course, fish and chicken makes a great herb to season those.
That's neat. Okay.
By the way, it's also a good pollinator plant. You'll see a number of the fall butterflies will tend to congregate around both the blue mist and the Mexican mint marigold, and it's kind of like you almost see these flying flowers out there over top of the floral plantings.
Cool. Dr. Arnold is with us, and I have a couple other questions. Calvin, anything you want to ask about the two that we've talked about, or Mark?
No. It's I'm happy to hear about the Mexican mint marigold because it is a favorite of mine.
So is there anything being considered? Can you give us, let us in on a secret of anything that's coming up?
Anything coming up?
What's coming up? Just between you and I.
Yeah.
I think we have 2 listeners, Dr. Arnold, just 2 others.
Well, we've had the Sweet Sensation grape that was released, promoted recently. And so that's going to be an option for those who are looking for edible crops that are Texas superstars. And it is seedless form here that actually can be grown in Texas. So I'm personally excited about that one. We've got a few in the garden, and I haven't really gotten my first crop off of them. Our vegetable and fruit folks have been the ones primarily working with those. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those do in the garden as well.
Now, in terms of the mistflower, a lot of us kind of describe it as not being very disciplined growers.
Oh.
For an informal location, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it seems to work well, though. I've really gotten used to it and like it as in a container plant. Yeah, it's and it's surprising.
I tell you, we use it kind of in semi-naturalized settings as well, which is what's really nice. It's tough enough that you can grow it either as a garden plant with some cultivation to it, maintenance to it, or you can work it into semi-naturalized settings. And in those settings, a lot of times it'll kind of, how should I say, migrate to the locations where it's going to do best. Yeah.
On that note,
is that the same as spreading and taking over?
No, much different. No.
No, it's not that aggressive. Very, very easy to control if an unwanted seedling does come up. It's generally a nice community plant.
I was going to say, on that note of being a naturalized setting, you had mentioned that it does seem to tolerate a little bit of shade. How much are we talking about toleration?
Well, when we tolerate, say, partial shade, a half, less than, more than a half day, it starts to be a problem. So if you've got afternoon or morning full sun exposure, I think the plant's going to be fine for you. If we get into the situation where it's day-long shade, then the plant often survives, but you see a major reduction in the flowering. And, of course, we're going after the flowering on it, so that kind of defeats the purpose.
Now, do you? I kind of sometimes find that it's not as drought tolerant as I would expect. Is that?
It will survive drought, but if you get it into severe droughts, a lot of times you lose. It stops flowering, as many plants will, and so. I would put it in an intermediate category. It does need a little bit of irrigation during droughts, but it's going to be able to survive on a fairly minimal irrigation regime.
It definitely comes back fast in the spring.
Oh, good. And how about cold, too?
By the way, is that
yes,
the police coming for me? Didn't they hear I was on?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, you're okay. Go get him. Hurry, get him.
No, okay. It was a fire engine.
Was it a fire engine? Okay. Yeah. Okay. You never know. If you hear a siren coming towards you, you may want to duck out. Well, cool. I have another question for him, and then any other questions you guys have?
No.
Okay, Dr. Arnold. So I talked about your credentials, being a professor at A&M, and you are the director of the gardens at Texas A&M University. I've heard of that school. What are the gardens at Texas A&M University?
Well, thank you. We always love to try and convince folks to come up and give us a visit. We're in the first phase of the gardens at Texas A&M University. Eventually, it'll be a larger component. Right now, we're a 7-acre garden. The Leach Teaching Gardens are the first phase. We've got 22 different venues. We're looking at adding a demonstration seed garden coming up here within the next year. And we're located just behind the AgriLife complex, straddling the White Creek area behind the building. And so we encourage folks to come on out. Lot 97 on campus has some parking spaces.
And is it online? Can I check out everything that's going on online
yet? It sure is.
Okay.
Gardens the gardens.tamu. It should get you right on to the website.
Okay. TAMU.
.edu.
Okay, I'm going to go check that out.
.edu.
There it is, the Gardens at Texas A&M University. Cool. Anything else that we need to bring up that you'd like to talk about? Well, you're kind enough to come on the show and talk about this.
We have Hullabalooms coming up here in 2 weeks, which is our spring celebration. Nice chance to bring the kiddos out, and we're actually going to have a large butterfly release, native species, of course. And the whole point here this spring is to do pollinator promotions and education on pollinators and spring flowers in the landscape.
Very cool. And is that online too?
Yes,
Same
sir.
place?
That should be right online there as well.
All right. Well, thank you. Guys, anything else? Oh, I do have one more question. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Who is the Greg in Greg's Mist Flower?
You asked me too quick, but I believe it was one of the botanists that it's named after. It's not Greg Grant.
No, we were thinking that too.
Is he claiming that?
No.
We're taking. We can neither confirm nor deny that he is taking credit for. No, he is not, as far as we know. That's cool. So you have to work with Greg too, huh?
Oh, Greg is actually one of our Texas Superstar Committee members. And
Isn't he great?
I've known Greg for nearly 30 years here at A&M.
He's terrific. Okay.
He is fantastic.
Yeah, unfortunately, me as well.
Oh, you've known Mark for about that same time?
No, Greg.
Oh, you've known Greg. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Mike may remember me. I was with the Forest Service for 23 years in the 80s
and you worked with some of the water agencies as well.
There you go. You got it. Yeah. After I left the Texas Forest Service, I went to San Antonio Water System.
You can tell we're outside, Dr. Arnold. Well, that's cool.
No, that's fine. Just as long as there's no sirens, I'm
okay. You're feeling safer now. Well, listen. Thank you so much for coming on. We sure appreciate it. You're welcome anytime.
Well, I'd love to visit, and so if y'all have an opportunity, please come on up and see the gardens, and we'll make sure that we give you a tour around.
Very cool. Thank you so much. You take care.
Bye now.
Okay.
Bye.
And that website again is going to be. I had it up here just 2 minutes ago. Well, Google Texas A&M University Gardens.
Or I'm going to say gardens. TAMU.edu. And once you do it again.
Yeah, there's no such
Gardens.tamu.edu.
No such thing as a simple website address for.
Oh, okay. For the
but invariably it will be a name plus TAMU.edu.
All right.
Okay.
And there's some pretty pretty pink roses on there. I'm wondering what those are. You think those are Belinda's Dream? Okay, I'll show them to you in a second. Okay. Well, that was fun. Oh, yeah. You think these are Belinda's Dream, Calvin? Or no? No?
They're too pink?
No, they're too pink.
I always think Belinda's Dream is pinkish.
Pinkish, okay.
Yeah, because it has some other colors in there.
Well, that was fun. It's got some fun folks that come on to be a part of the show. And we neglected, poor Trace is going to kill us, to mention that the Greg's Mist Flower in the #1 pot is on sale for $8.88. I don't know about the mint marigold, but I'm
going to go look at the next break.
Okay, we'll take a break in a second. And did you notice, I don't know if it was our influence or not, but I saw about 4 different people pick up the plants.
Right during the segment.
Yeah,
and
buy
I was
them.
like, whoa, okay, here we go.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but that's pretty impressive plant, and there's quite a supply.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if we talk about it.
And he's correct. I could see a large tree with maybe kind of an informal bed underneath with a lot of the Greg's Mist Flower underneath. So that's why I was asking about how much shade it can tolerate.
I like the way it was arranged at Mitchell Lake. I don't know if it's still that way, but it was, kind of a mound about.
How tall will it get?
15 feet.
Yeah, a big mound. That's why I'm glad you mentioned it. It was not individual plant. There were several large
and lots of pollinators in there, just covered with them.
Oh, I bet. So, how would you advise somebody who's now interested to plant it? Full sun?
Well,
okay, and what else?
Yeah, well, you got lots of choices. That's one of the advantages of using it. I like it in the containers because you can you
I
can
think
control
Calvin's
it a
right,
bit.
yeah.
But if you've got the space, I'm wondering. I'm not sure. I can't imagine. I can't visualize it doing well with mint marigold, because mint marigold is a kind of a disciplined looking plant, and then the mistflower is not. And then now deer will eat, and at least in my neighborhood, deer will eat the mistflower.
Oh, really?
And they don't eat the mint marigold.
Okay.
So it's kind of a different,
I would
different
do it,
atmosphere.
Yeah, I would do it a lower growing plant. Maybe.
Okay.
But gosh, I've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it, Mark. There's some on the hill that they show up in the late fall, after the fall aster even.
Yeah.
And just that, just tremendous glow in the dark kind of a color. But it doesn't bloom a long time. But it certainly is impressive when it's blooming, and the deer don't touch it at all.
Yeah.
That's which one?
That's mint marigold.
Mint marigold. Okay.
Yeah. That licorice
So is
smell
this?
is very good.
Could
pleasant.
if I got the Greg's mist flower, could I expect it to kind of act like the blue plumbago in a bed, where I'll plant just two, and now it is like, it's about, it's taken over the whole bed?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's a different.
It will expand in size, but not expand in numbers.
Oh, that's true. Because the blue plumbago probably is rooting.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. All right. With that note, we're going to take a break. Anything else you want to say about that? Anything? Just making sure you're okay. All right. You? No.
No. I was thinking of something. I'll tell you after.
All right. Oh,
Here comes Trace.
Here comes Trace. We got to take a break because Trace is coming up. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. Hey, Hal, 210-308-8867, the number to call. So you'll hear his name in about a few seconds. All right, 210-308-8867. All right, Hal, did you hear us talking about you? All right, what else is going? Oh, do you want to know my Facebook question?
Yes. What is your Facebook question, Milton?
So, this is what I saw on Facebook, and I. Okay, so it was talking about a raised bed. If you were gonna do a raised bed garden,
yes,
and it said if you're building it now, what you want to do is you want to start off with cardboard, put it at the cardboard at the bottom, okay, and then fill up the first. Okay, Calvin doesn't like that. We can tell. So
no. We'll disparage it, but please go on.
Okay, and then they said to start off, instead of starting off with soil as you were filling it up, with leaves and twigs and branches and stuff. And I guess the idea was so you didn't have to fill it all the way up with soil. You could kind of save on soil. And I think the idea of the cardboard was so you wouldn't get anything that you put it on top of. You wouldn't get the weeds and the grasses coming through. So this was on Facebook. Keep that in mind. So you agree with it, or it's a bunch of bunk?
Well, I think it's a bunch of bunk.
Okay.
But I mean, it's an option if you have limited soil, but it kind of defeats the whole purpose of a raised bed. The reason you have a raised bed is that you don't have enough soil
underneath it.
Yeah, a regular soil there to do a successful garden. So you're attempting to make the soil situation better for the plants. But if you're just duplicating the condition of your regular soil, you're not necessarily accomplishing anything.
So you have what we've been talking about, 2 to 4 inches of natural soil in a third of the area around here.
Okay.
So now I'm going to build an 8-inch raised bed. I have just made the soil available to the plant, 12 to 13 inches worth of soil. So that's why I'm raising a bed, to increase the volume of soil
Okay.
for both nutrient and water holding capacity for the plant.
But you're not, you know, a lot of gardeners do believe in that. Because I was working on replacing some of my containers that my wife had put together, and these great big wonderful clay pots, except they're 2/3 rock.
Oh, is that 2/3?
Well, half maybe.
Okay.
But I said, what is it? Why do you have? Why did she even get those big wonderful pots if you weren't going to put soil in
all
it?
the way through. Yeah.
But
It's a conundrum, Milton. It is a conundrum.
But it does. Yeah, it does. You know, the soil is probably expensive, although finding the rock to work there in the long run is maybe just as challenging.
Oh.
So, Milton, here's a hint. If you have one of these big horse trough container, one, make sure that it has holes in the bottom.
Right, for drainage.
Two, an easy way to reduce the amount of soil and lighten it up. 2-liter bottles, plastic bottles, in the bottom of it. Reduces the amount of soil that you put on, and also lightens the containers.
So repeat that. Tell me how that works in practice.
So you have all these 2-liter plastic bottles or liter plastic bottles, and you put them in the bottom of the container, and so you don't have to fill up as much soil.
I gotcha. Okay.
This is a Paul and Mark trick.
Okay.
If you don't have to buy, if you're limited to the amount of soil that you have to buy.
Okay. So, but if you did like mulch or twigs or stuff, doesn't that create that atmosphere of getting ready to have mushrooms and stealing nitrogen from the soil?
Yeah. Possibly.
Okay.
But yes, that is nature's way. In about a year, 2 years, maybe 3, depending on the amount of moisture and nitrogen in the soil.
And the thickness of the sticks.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they were putting in logs.
Yeah.
Okay. Calvin's making faces that you can't see.
No. There is a European, I believe it's Hugel type of thing where it's a big mound, and they put logs and things, and they're making essentially this big, tall, composted raised bed.
Okay.
And so they're planting inside of it and everything. It's supposed to decay internally over time. It's natural. I just say let's just bypass that whole thing.
Okay. Just fill her up, huh?
Fill her up with soil and the appropriate nutrients.
Yeah. And it's so much easier to garden when you don't have all that
fighting
the rock or those sticks in there. I think. I don't.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess you can't believe everything you see on the internet. Is that what you're telling me?
But it also
bonjour, French bottle.
There are situations where that maybe is your only option too, though.
Oh, why is that? Why do you? What would the?
Well, if you're in Greenland or someplace where there's no soil available, and you have to,
or Bernie or Bulverde or places Stone Oak where you have no soil.
So what if you put like 2 inches of mulch down, not on top but on the bottom? Is that a bad thing?
Well, you do what you have to do. You do as much. You know, if that will get the job done and provides an adequate amount of soil for the plants you're trying to grow.
Okay. And what would what's the minimum that's an adequate amount of soil?
Well,
4
it
inches,
depends
6
on the
inches?
plants.
Yeah. Depends on what you're using it for, the raised bed for.
Okay.
So if you're growing tomatoes and you can fertilize the heck out of them, it doesn't take much soil.
Aha.
But if you're...
And watering. Consistent watering.
Okay. What's that?
And consistent watering.
Okay.
So fertilization and consistent watering. Yeah, you can go with a smaller container.
Do you consider a raised bed the same as a container in the sense that you wouldn't use the 1959 in
I use
And like
1959 in the raised bed.
Okay, but not in pots, right?
Not in pots.
Oh, but in the raised bed. Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. There is a border there. With when does it become technically a container, and when is it a garden?
The container fertilizer become too costly to use it in a larger volume of soil, and where you want to use maybe a more economical formulation, which we've talked about. Our formulation of 1959 that we sell here is very good per unit of nitrogen because it has a little bit of both.
Okay. All right. James sent me a picture, and he's on the phone, so on the line here. James, I'm looking forward. Okay. 210-308-8867. James is on the line. Oh, okay. Here's a picture that James sent us. Welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. James, what's going on?
I give you a rain report, but it's pretty sad. Had rain all around me, but
oh, James,
10 drops in my rain gauge, but better than nothing, I guess. Hey, that weed, I think it's a weed that I sent you a photo of.
Mm-hmm. Weed, that's a valuable wildflower. Is he teasing us?
No, I am. I was mowing day before yesterday, and I mowed several of those down around my post oak. And then I stopped, and I said, "Well, that's a pretty looking flower."
It's a top nectar source. Blue.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to think of what it's.
That's not blue curl, is it?
Huh?
That's not blue curl, is it?
It is blue curl.
Oh, okay.
So should I leave it and not mow it?
I would leave it. I think it's a wonderful. The butterflies love it. The bees love it. The hummingbirds love it, and it will grow in germinate in sun or shade.
Okay, that's interesting because it's growing around on the west side of my oldest post oak and also under the canopy, which is total shade. And I mowed a few around. That was my last area to mow. And I mowed some down. I said, hold on a second. And I went and got a closer look. And I said, I'll call the guys and see what that is before I mow the rest of it down.
You want to take a look, Trace?
I like it. It's one of my favorite plants.
He sent us a picture.
And it's still useful right now. In April, it's still a very useful plant.
Even in May.
No, okay.
The seed will mature. The funny thing is that the seed will mature, and you can be planting that seed, and it'll still get the seed to germinate, the new seed to germinate when you're still harvesting or utilizing the blooms in the old plants. So it's really getting into. Of course, the droughty weather kind of. Even on the blue curl, reduced the amount, but it's still coming up pretty good in a lot of landscapes.
I just have it in the one spot around the one tree that I know of. I could have some way in the back that I haven't seen, but
have you seen any hummingbirds in it?
No, I didn't, but I wasn't looking for them. I didn't hear any either because I wear headphones when I mow. At any rate, blue curl, I'll look that up. So is it perennial or annual?
It's an annual.
I know you said it'll reseed. It's a reseeding annual. Okay, yeah. I'll leave what I have left then, and next year I'll just leave it alone.
Yes, sir, Trace.
I thought it was a blue princess verbena.
Oh,
which is the native one you see growing up and down the highway.
Well, that could be
because verbena. Okay, I'll look them both up.
Years ago, they would propagate it. I haven't seen it available in a long time, but God propagates it.
Yeah.
Either way,
no, it looks to me like blue curl for sure.
Okay,
I can't see.
All right.
But either way, it's something to save. So
yeah,
something to save.
Yeah,
right,
blue. But it's a good plant.
Okay, I learned something new. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, James. We'll go to Robert on the line. He's got a grape question at 210-308-8867. What's going on, Robert?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Southern Sensation grapes, year 2 in the ground. They grow like weeds. My question is, should I truncate some of these longer vines and prune. I mean, they're so full. First year, I had thousands of little tiny grapes, and I'm just wondering if I pruned back some of the vines, if I'd get larger, better production, no different than thin peaches and plums and stuff like that.
Well,
go ahead, Trace.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't hardly over prune grapes.
Well, yeah, I pruned them down to 2 branches earlier in the spring, but the new growth is extreme.
The more grapes you leave on it, the smaller everything's going to be, the less flavorful. So yes, I would be trying to prune them up and do some kind of cross beam.
This year though should be even a variety like that will be pretty challenged with that kind of drought we've had.
He waters. His plants aren't challenged.
There's nothing challenged in my backyard. I've got irrigation on everything, and I follow all the rules, but I do water all of my beds properly. I do. They are on a T trellis system, so I'll go ahead. I'm gonna experiment this year. But I'm gonna cut them back so I maybe only have like 10 or 12 clusters per plant.
Are they sweet?
Yeah, tell us about it, because that's a Texas superstar too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they will.
And we've got some here.
They are very sweet.
Oh, we have some here too.
Yes,
good.
So it's for everybody's benefit. Yeah, you prune your grapevines net back 90% each year.
Oh, wow.
And then you're going, as Trace says, you're going to thin out a certain amount of the grapes to get a larger grape.
Thanks, guys. Trace, I appreciate your input. Always well heated.
Any other things you want to add for Robert, guys?
I think he needs more.
What's that? He needs more.
He needs more.
I think you need some.
Plenty.
Yeah, I think you need some Victoria Reds and some Southern Sensation.
Well, I'll say this. I was thinking, because these did so well, I was thinking I had a spot that I could add another bed and put some grapes I could make wine out of. But I took some molasses tubs, and I have in that area, I'm just experimenting with tubs, I put artichokes down that run. So I have 6 artichokes in tubs.
Do you plan on eating them, or do you plan on waiting for the bloom to enjoy the bloom?
I love blooms on desert roses and hibiscus and things like that. I don't care to look at things I'm going to eat.
It's a spectacular bloom, though.
Yeah,
I know. I was talking to my brother about that this morning. He's grown them in the past. He said they're unbelievable to look at, and I'm operating on the assumption that a 22-inch pot that's about 16 inches deep is enough soil to support them, because I do understand they get quite large.
How large? 22-inch?
It's 22-inch diameter, and there's about 16 inches deep of soil.
It's a little less than 2 feet.
Well, that's pretty big. Yeah.
No, they're huge. Yeah, it took 6 pots. It took 2/3 of a yard to fill them, basically.
Well, they will fill a half whiskey barrel easy, Okay.
Yeah, that's what these are. I think these are probably comparable to half whiskey barrel. But I've never actually measured a half whiskey barrel. I like these better because they're not as tapered as normal pots, so they're much easier to dolly around if I decide to move them inside if we have any hard freezes next winter.
Sounds good.
You use your molasses tubs, like, how big are they? Are they kind of like a raised bed, Calvin?
No, these are circular. They're about a half whiskey barrel size. That's what I'm using. Yeah,
gotcha.
They're one asparagus. I'm sorry, one artichoke per plant.
Per pot.
Okay, I didn't know. Maybe we'll get Trace involved in the debate too.
They can get big.
Okay.
What's that?
They can get big.
Oh, yeah.
They can get big. Okay. Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah.
Robert, thank you so much, man.
Okay, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
Hi, Robert.
Your help.
All right. 210-308-8867. Yes. What's your point now?
He needs to check out Blanc de Bois.
The big monarch.
That's
Blanc du Bois?
Yep. That's a good wine grape that's fierce disease resistant.
Sorry, we were looking at the Monarch, Calvin and I. What was that?
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Say again.
Blanc de Bois.
Okay.
Pierce is disease resistant.
So like Blanche Dubois but different.
Sure, but different.
Yes, yeah.
From Streetcar. Cool. And what did you see? You saw a monarch again?
Oh, yeah. Big one.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on this? And then we'll take a break. I was watching something on Facebook that said if you had a raised bed, you put cardboard at the bottom so that nothing grows through, and then you put, for the first 6 inches or so, no, I guess that's not right, but for the first part of it, you put twigs, leaves, mulch, all that stuff, and then you put the soil on top of that. What do you think? Calvin says no. Mark says no. Mark says maybe.
I would say...
No, he said no.
I would say no.
Okay.
Probably for different reasons.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I don't know what their reasons were.
Well, the advantage of the raised bed was...
It's a pain in the butt to go through all that, and when you're trying to address your lack of soil.
So the soil's going to sink. That's the first thing.
Oh.
And second...
you're right.
Those
That's
branches
a good point.
and stuff are going to decompose.
Thank you.
Which also sinks more, and it creates gas as they decompose that could actually inhibit the growth of the plant.
That's what I...
Is
that what I asked?
You should never put undecomposed material in the ground like that and try to grow something above it.
So should I go back on Facebook and go, hey, look, I've asked experts about this. You're full of bunk.
No.
Okay. No rats.
Take Facebook with a grain of salt on everything.
All right. That's kind of conclusion I came to, too. We'll take a quick break, come back in a moment. This is Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Hey, Trey. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. All right, so Mark did some research. Do you want to talk about what you saw?
Yes, and so I went to check on what Trey said.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we have those a winemaking grape.
Oh, good.
What it said. So he said a Blanc de Bois. And we have in number 3s for $49.99.
Okay.
Number 3 can.
The Blanc du Bois. So I'm guessing it's a white grape?
Yeah.
Okay.
White of the forest.
What's that?
Or the forest white.
Okay.
Is forest woods.
Oh. Okay. I thought okay. Huh. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867, the number 2 call. So we've got those. Yeah, so was he growing the grapes in a container, or was that the artichoke?
Well, yeah, he wouldn't.
You wouldn't put grapes in a container?
Not usually.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But I've actually seen them grown.
And then I think later on he was talking about he may have gotten some big tubs for that. But he was interchanging different ones, but I think the artichokes, we're going to go in the molasses.
Oh, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, they're in the pots.
All right, so we got those here. So all that's good.
And then the Milberger's does have a lot of those plastic half whiskey barrel size containers too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to use, much easier than the wooden ones in terms of putting soil in and moving them.
Oh, there you go. All right. 210-308-8867.
What is that ant or that bug
I don't
walking
know.
on
What is
you?
it? Is it an ant?
No, I guess it was a kind of gnat thing, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, so let's talk a little bit more about what folks should be doing now. We have a few minutes left before the show. Or I could also get the weather for you. Are they saying maybe rain?
No, I think the rain has dissipated for today and for the rest of the week.
Oh, I'm looking.
Now I don't know where I had it. Okay, I don't have it.
Well, just to rremind everybody that the monarchs are coming to town.
You want to wave Mary down? Can you get her attention? Once she's through.
So you want to have your nectar plants available, and the good news is that your favorite nursery, including Milberger's, has nectar plants that are in bloom. Well, we can look at them right here.
Yeah, right in front of us.
Zinnias, lantanas,
Our butterfly weed.
Where do you see butterfly weed?
Well, I see it over there on the corner. It's on the corner over there, but I just saw the
tropical.
sign. Yeah, tropical. But it doesn't have flowers just yet. It's starting to.
Yeah, they like, and pollinators really do like that tropical milkweed.
Porterweed, but we don't have any right now. But we expect some in the future.
Yeah, that's a real interesting plant, and that's another one that does really well in a container. You may want to try. You want to try that. We'll let you know the next time we have some here, and you can at least come by and take a look at that.
Yeah.
Or look, do like Milton does and go on the internet
and look at the pictures. Oh, Mary's helping people. Oh.
Yeah, she's in there.
Yeah.
She must have got excited because that big monarch.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think so. She is in charge of that certified butterfly garden, and she notices right away when the monarchs move in. Also,
I was also going to say, don't forget, because Mary will definitely say, don't forget your herbs and vines that other butterflies would like. So, dill, parsley,
oh, that's right.
rue,
black swallowtails for those guys that you mentioned.
Yeah. So, and I know
fritillaries for your.
When Dr. Arnold was talking about natives to Texas, who was he talking about? He said they were having a butterfly release at the Texas A&M Gardens, and he said, and then he clarified it just so I think
make sure that all the butterflies are native.
Yeah,
butterflies.
so
all the ones we've been talking about. I like the Gulf fritillaries. That's one of my favorites. Colorful ones. Sulfurs, swallowtails. Black tiger and big ones.
Yeah, giant swallowtails. The ones that lay their eggs in the citrus. So all of those are worth having in the landscape for sure.
All right. So got a few minutes left. Trace, anything you want to bring up while we got you here?
We got lots of pretty stuff coming out of Florida Monday.
Good.
A lot of hibiscus and mandavillas and fern baskets.
Porterweed.
I never said that. and I'm going to stop telling you when I get it.
Yeah.
So customers have an option to
Thank
buy
you.
some. All right. I'll hide it so you can't see it.
There you go.
I'll put it on the backside over here.
Well, they could do the same thing that Calvin.
I have to admit that when I came to pick up the Ruby Crush, I went to look for that porterweed to see if somebody had gotten it, or I was going to get it if they had.
Now, did you leave your name with the people at the front on that wish list, or they just called you because they knew you wanted? Trace took care of it.
I took care of him, and
Trace did it.
Yeah, I should have let the customers have some first.
So if they want porterweed, they could call that 210-497-3760.
We'll put you on the wish list.
Put on the wish list.
When we get some, we'll holler at you.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's a cool feature. I did it with the tomatoes, and they called me, told me the varieties, told me the prices, everything I needed to know. It was great. I came right in.
Really? Did you actually buy something?
Absolutely.
Nayeli does a pretty good job.
What's that? Yeah.
Only problems are sometimes I get stuff in and I sell it before she can give anybody a call.
Oh.
Well, that's not anything to complain about, I don't think.
Not on our end, but
for the customer.
Oh yeah, because although there's a general satisfaction, I think, with that process. I haven't heard anybody complaining about that they waited for that call, and then when they finally got it, there wasn't anything there.
There's a few things written down on that list that we'll never have, but. We'll still take their information if we can find it.
If it comes in, or if you can find it, okay. That's kind of cool. And then tomorrow we'll talk about what you taught today to your thing, because we don't have enough time today. But I encourage you to come on by Milberger's. The blood drive and the site screenings are going on today till 3, so there's a whole nother hour Both of them are super important. Millburgers, by the way, we talked about glasses, has a place right by where the checkout is where you can drop your glasses off 365 days. Most every day except when they're closed. So
I did that. I did that 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
3 weeks ago.
Yep. So when you keep seeing those glasses in that drawer of yours, they could be helping somebody right now. So and not just in this country and other countries, but they could be a life changer. So yep. So thanks to Sandesh for coming on and talking to us, and we enjoyed talking to Dr. Arnold too. So it's been a good show. Hope you enjoyed it. Now tomorrow we want lots of questions from you. 210-308-8867. We'll be back then on 9:30 a.m. This is The Answer.